You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
All right, it is happy hour. It is time for the Man Cave Happy Hour, whiskey, cigars, spirits, and the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox, and this is Apple Juice.
And this is, yes, it's Apple Juice. We are on the deck, on the patio, Casa Flanagan.
This is your man cave, somewhat, up here on the big deck.
I got a big deck. Yeah, I don't have a basement really to speak of. I mean, we do. It's a Michigan basement, and it's like I hit my head on everything. It's more storage.
Right.
Scary 200-year-old house and freaky basement. So, yeah, my deck is kind of my man cave. We extended it with the hot tub and all kinds of stuff.
I love coming to your man cave out here. So thanks for the invite, sir.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And we're doing so. It's the first time we've done this.
Yes.
And we're doing just the taste.
Just the taste.
And in the glass, or shortly to be in the glass, is going to be something we haven't done before.
This is a first time for the man cave, yes.
Tequila.
Tequila? Really?
And, yeah, I don't know. And another reason why I wanted to do it at home, because sometimes tequila makes my pants fall off. I think that's a country song. I'm not sure.
That's
or
what she said. I mean,
I think, sometimes tequila makes my pants fall off. So, I picked up this bottle earlier today. I went to Keiko's Market here, 14 in Woodward. If you're a Metro Detroiter, great selection.
Very
Joe
nice.
at Keiko's, unbelievably knowledgeable, and just was like giving me a rundown.
The selection there is just incredible.
Save it for the show, Shecky.
Yeah.
And so I said, I don't know, I want to spend between $30 and $50 on a bottle of tequila because we're talking to today from Facebook. They should be calling in shortly. One of the representatives from I Love Top Shelf Tequila.
You do?
Well, that's a Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
And they talk a lot about tequila on the page. They're big fans of tequila, so they do little videos and talk about top shelf tequilas. Now this at coming in just with tax and all about $40 out the door is not your top shelf tequila, but Joe promised me we would be very, very happy with it. So I'm curious if the top shelf tequila guys know about Tres Agaves tequila.
Well, I would hope so. If they love top shelf tequila and they're recommending it,
yeah,
you know.
So
I
wonder.
Keiko's is it recommending?
Yeah, I wonder if they know about this one. And it's the thing is, and Joe, like I said, just in a couple of minutes when I said I wanted a tequila, he's just spewing information at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, you should come over and be on the show with us, So, but we were really excited about it, and yeah, he was. But the thing is, how it's aged.
Yes.
And I thought it was aged longer because tequila sometimes is clear.
Yes.
And that's just the regular, and that's not aged at all.
That's just, wow,
and
okay.
and then as it gets darker, it's aged under 11 months. It's called, I don't know, Respacito or resting. I don't know, whatever. It's and then Añejo is over the 11 months or more.
Okay. Wow.
So
I know very, very little about tequila.
And that's what I'm hoping the top shelf tequila folks are going to be able to do and clue us in on. But the other thing is, he said about this is that the plants, right? Mm-hmm. The agaves plant,
yes.
Right?
Okay.
Some people, they'll they have like a bunch of different farmers that they work from. And it's the age of the plant is the trick. And some of these plants are 8, 9, 10 years old.
Wow.
Before they mature and they're used to make the tequila. So, I mean, they've been growing this plant for 10 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's like, the whole bourbon and whiskey thing and the aging and the big whiskey boom. They got to plan ahead because you got to be 8 years out for the quality. Now, I don't know, like your bottom shelf tequilas, if they're just like 1 season old and they whack them or what. But so it's the age of the plant has a lot to do with it.
As we talk to distillers, we talk to liquor manufacturers, for lack of a better term. The plan that goes around preparing to create said tequila and or bourbon, and then to have that business plan and enough time set aside for it to mature properly for you. Wow. I really was not all sure about that entire process until we started having these conversations. Oh my goodness. It's just crazy.
So the neat thing about this one though, it all comes from one estate, right? So it's like a single vine wine, right? A single vineyard wine, right? And so this is it all comes from one estate, is what Joe was telling me.
I think it's the Trinchero family is where this might be from.
Yeah.
Because I was just probably pulled them up online, taking a look. It's Trinchero family estates. Since 1946.
Okay.
That they've been doing the Tres Agaves here.
So it's very much a smaller batch.
1948, my apologies.
Dilio. So yeah, I'm trying to. All right. So we're just a couple minutes past the hour.
Yeah.
And we'll just double check and make sure we're plugged in here. All right. Yep. Just waiting for the I Love Top Shelf Tequila. And if you call in and help us, walk us through the tequilas, because there's to get all the names and the words right, I'm sure we're being really culturally inappropriate, insensitive.
Hey, my palate's my palate. I apologize.
We're doofuses, but enjoying a couple frosty beers out on the Casa de Flanagan.
Casa de Flanagan, right?
Deck.
Wow. So this is a first. Typically for the Man Cave, we like to go somewhere, and chat up the establishment that we're in.
We were talking about doing one here, though.
We wanted to do one here because this in itself is an establishment.
Well, and the last time we tried to take a phone call, it was like really loud wherever we were. So I figured I'll just try a phone call in a more controlled environment. Even though we're still outside, I think we might be okay with the phone call. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. Boop, boop, boop. One thing that we don't have to deal with when we're in an establishment is bugs.
Yeah. Right. Should I get the bug candles out?
No, we're good.
Are you getting bugged there a little bit, Matthew?
I'm fine.
Okay. And we don't have Percy either. Come here, Percy.
Oh, here's a kitty cat. Percy cat.
All right.
Very cool. Yeah, very excited to talk to the I Love Top Shelf Tequila guys. This is why podcasts are amazing. Even though we're live, and folks
we can edit out.
We can edit out a bunch of stuff, so that's really fun.
Edit out this dead air horse shit.
Yeah, I got nothing to say.
Yeah,
I just want to have a beer.
I know. Well, we will.
And if my wife is watching, hi, wife.
Huh? Sam checked in.
Oh, did she? Hi, Sam.
Sam hearted the video already.
Jeez.
So we heart you too, Samantha. Samantha is our engineer, producer for the Animal Talk show, and helps out on the Man Cave when we can wrangle her into it.
Right.
Probably should have told her. Had her, 'cause she's probably a little pissed off that we're at my house with the cat, and She's not. So. You guys, I swear.
Oh, looks like they're responding there for you.
So we don't necessarily need the headphones on to talk until we have them. Yes, we'll give you a call right now. Excellent.
There it is.
Right. So Top Shelf Tequila is the Facebook page.
I love Top Shelf Tequila.
And we're gonna
Very cool. I'm excited to talk to these folks.
I know. I want to learn about tequila.
I know nothing about tequila. I just know that it really messes me up.
Because most of my stories are not. It's not happily ever after when tequila was involved.
I was in a state. I believe I was in Utah, and they regulate the alcohol percentage, the alcohol content in beer, but they can't do that with liquor. So we were at a Mexican restaurant, and they did a beer shot special.
Okay.
And there was actually
beer and a shot.
Beer and a shot.
Okay.
So there's the phone call. But I'm going to finish this story here in a few moments.
Okay. All right. We'll get back to that. Hey, welcome to the Man Cave.
Hey, James.
Hey, hi.
Hey, what's going on? My name's Vince. I'm here with Zach. We're with Top Shelf Tequila. Hi, how are you, James?
Excellent, Vince. Zach, it's the Man Cave Happy Hour, and I'm here with Matt Fox.
Fellas, how we doing?
We're doing well, man. Thanks for messaging us. That was we would have honestly missed it.
Fair play.
Yeah, thank you, man. So we're here. I didn't get much background information on what your guys' podcast is about or anything, so I just kind of wanted to get an idea of what you were looking for and seeing how, we can assist you guys.
All right, well, it's the Man Cave.
Cave
Happy Hour. It's whiskey, cigars, spirits, and the stories that go along with it. Matthew and I are novices, right? We enjoy a good whiskey. We enjoy a good bourbon. We like spirits, but we don't know anything. So we want to learn stuff, right? And we figured as we learn, maybe we can share some information along the way. So we tag in some experts and people who know what they're talking about to help educate us.
Awesome, man. Well, we know a lot about tequila.
Good. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, we curate tequila, so we're a curation site. So, we leverage a lot of different brands and a lot of different types of tequila and just focus on sharing them with people and creating kind of a community of tequila lovers who can interact, talk about tequila, and kind of do what we're going to do right now.
Excellent. So, all right. So what are people going to find when they visit the Facebook page, I Love Top Shelf Tequila?
So when they come and visit our Facebook page, they're going to find an awesome community of tequila enthusiasts, people that love all different types of tequila, from the most expensive top shelf stuff, all the way down to, your basic silvers and reposados. So when you go to the page, we post a lot of pictures. We give a lot of feedback to our community on kind of the tequila process. And then we encourage them to share their favorites, and we have a private community online too, a Facebook group where people kind of go in more depth and share their ratings and share, their taste of tequila and what they think.
All right, so to get us rolling, there's 3 grades basically, right? You have your silver, your reposado, and the añejo. What are the different?
And then an extra añejo.
Extra añejo.
There's actually
extra añejo. Okay.
Well, not to get. We'll get complicated. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah. No, this is what we need. Fix us. Fix us, man.
All
Fix
right.
us.
Now that I get what you guys need, we're good to go. It's a little more complicated. You can talk about it. Take them.
Yeah. So there's 4 main types of tequila that you have, and you were right that 3 of them are the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Añejo. So the Blanco is not aged at all. It's under 3 months is what it really is.
Okay.
And that's usually what you get straight out of the distillery. And then you have your Reposado, which is aged for about it's aged from 3 months to a year. Huh. And those tequilas usually pick up a little more flavor because they're aged in a barrel for a little longer. And then you have your Añejo, which is a year to 3 years. And so as you see, the tiers keep going up. And then you have a 4th tier that you guys missed, but it's all right. Not many people know that. Is the extra añejo, which is 3+ years.
Okay.
And these are all regulated. So any tequila that you buy and whatever it says on it, it's regulated in Mexico, and it has to be for it to, by the NOMS, which is the distillery that actually creates the tequila. So those are all regulated, and it's basically aging lengths.
Okay. So now tequila, does it have to be a product of Mexico? Like bourbon has to be an American product. Can tequila be made anywhere?
Do I take this one? No, it can't be made anywhere. So in order to be called tequila, it has to be bottled in Mexico in the Jalisco region.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Even a particular region. Whereabout is that?
It's pretty close to Mexico City, which
Okay.
is the capital.
It's right around there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you guys have gone and visited this place and seen the process of how
We were literally there, you guys, 5 days ago.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Nice. And any stories you want to...
Literally, we got back on this past Saturday to go to a distillery. We actually met up with the owner of El Vaso Tequila. He took us down to his distillery. They're one of the partners we work with, one of the tequila companies. And he took us down to his distillery, and we got to see firsthand the entire tequila making process. It was really awesome. We even got to experience the El Vaso owner, Ross, create his next tequila that he wants to release with his master distiller. So we got a very in-depth, behind-the-scenes view of the tequila process, and it was quite interesting.
Yeah, with that, what was the most surprising part of that process that took you by surprise?
That's a really good question. Yeah, it's a really good question.
Yeah.
What took me by surprise was that I would have to say is kind of how all tequila in that region starts the same and finishes the same. It's what you do after and how you age it that really determines the flavor, right? So all tequila is made equal.
Okay.
It's what the master distiller decides to do, after that tequila has gotten to be a reposado or an añejo or an extra añejo or a blanco.
Oh, right.
What was interesting to us is how you can take a blanco. If everybody has the same blanco, how do you make it different? How do you create that flavor profile? And it was what the master distiller had to say. It was interesting.
So now I understand the plant itself is very important, but how old the plant is. The agave's plant, how long does it take for these things to mature? And are we talking years? What's the deal with the age of the plant, and how does that impact the tequila?
Yeah, so usually you have an agave is planted about 6 to 12 years before they're actually taken out of the ground and turned into tequila.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a long wait time.
Yeah, it takes a long time for the plants to mature. That's what takes the most. That's what makes tequila very interesting. The agave plant, it takes quite some time to get to the point of where it can actually be turned into tequila.
All right, so like your bottom shelf tequilas, are there plants that are just like they take them out much younger, and they're just mass producing, and it's the bottom shelf stuff, or are those still several years old?
No, those they're still generally all that old. 100%. For the plant to get to the point of even being able to make it, it has to age to a certain degree. Down in Mexico, the Jalisco region, these distilleries do a really good job of making it readily available to producers who want to go down there and make tequila. So you don't often have to wait. You don't have to go. If you wanted to make tequila, you don't have to go down to Mexico and plant your agave plants and wait 10 years.
Wow.
These distilleries have matured plants, and when you look at different tequilas, one of the things to kind of look at is if a tequila is estate grown. Do you guys know what estate grown means?
That all the plants came from one estate and one farmer.
Exactly. So that distillery is estate, right? They came from there, so it's all kind of under the same thing. Sometimes some of the bigger companies, they'll go out and get agave plants that are matured from multiple estates,
right,
and then bring them to their distillery to do it. So that's kind of how that works.
So, because I was in honor of chatting with you guys, I ran out and I picked up a bottle, and the party store owner near me, pretty knowledgeable guy. We're here in the Metro Detroit area, and there's a market called Keiko's Market, and the owner Joe is just a wealth of knowledge. And I told him what we were doing. And he always said, I spend between $30 and $60. I didn't want to go nuts on a bottle. He said, "All right, let me."
So can I ask what you bought?
And what he turned me towards was Tres Agaves, and Tres 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 Agaves tequila.
Okay, Tres Agaves. What do you think about it? Have you tasted it yet?
No, we haven't cracked it yet. So that's the other thing we do on the show. It's this is just the taste. So we usually open up a bottle and do just the taste and kind of figure out if we like it or not and what to expect. So generally speaking, when you have an añejo tequila, what kind of flavor profile? Because we're used to bourbons and whiskey, so we're always talking flavor profiles. So is that a thing with tequila? Does it have a flavor profile, and what should we expect?
Are you guys there?
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when it comes to flavor profiles of an añejo, so when you're speaking about an añejo, right, we know that it's going to be aged between 1 to 3 years.
Right.
So what they did in that aging is kind of going to determine the flavor, right? Generally speaking, the agave taste is very, very sweet, and that's what people enjoy in a tequila.
Mm-hmm.
The burn more or less comes from the alcohol in the tequila, not the agave. So a good añejo, you're going to generally see a agave-forward taste and then depending on what they finished that in, what barrels they barreled it in,
Right.
is going to play more to the finish of the tequila. So you should initially, get a nice agave taste, and then the finish is going to kind of be reflective of whatever that producer finished their barrels in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So.
I'm trying to see what barrels they use. So fine oak barrels over 1 year. And they don't. So is there like a chemical that sometimes like bourbons and sometimes tequila distillers add to add color and flavor? Do you know what I'm talking about? What what additive is?
A good tequila is not going to have any additives.
Right.
The dark color would come from the oak barrels.
Okay.
So the coloring comes from the barreling process.
Yeah.
But a good tequila is going to get all of its flavor from the natural agave and from the barrel they put it in. There's no additives. The additives are in the tequila. You start talking to people that really know tequila.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fans of additives, to change the flavor profile.
Okay. So when you guys you said you're a reseller? Well, no, that's not the word you use.
Curator. They're a
curator.
Yes.
Are you guys?
Yeah, we're a community, and we also have a retail store as well.
Okay.
With our community too. So we do sell a lot of these tequilas.
Okay.
Online.
So what's the price point on when you're considering something a top shelf tequila? What are the price points you're looking at?
For us to consider something top shelf, it's not necessarily price.
Uh-huh.
Although that does play a factor. It's more about the process and how they've done it. So, generally speaking, an extra añejo is more than likely going to be a top shelf tequila, just because they went through that aging process,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to create more flavor, which takes more time to do. So the price point, kind of justifies that.
Yeah.
There's also some añejos that'll make my list for all that kind of stuff, just because they're made right, and it's something that we enjoy most of the time.
Yeah, but you're looking at, generally speaking, for a top shelf, $60 or more. If you're going real top shelf, $100 or higher.
Sure.
Usually.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So have you heard of the Tres Agaves before?
Yeah.
We have heard of it, yes.
Okay.
We have.
All right.
Have you ever paid a visit to their distillery at all, or is that something that's on your bucket list to go and take a look at?
Definitely something on my bucket list. Have you been there?
To where?
They,
Trace together.
No, we have not.
All right.
they all are.
But if you guys
Everyone's
let us
everything's a
know,
bucket
and,
list,
right? We can give you a little list of tequilas to try, especially since you guys are whiskey drinkers. I was a whiskey drinker too,
Yeah.
and then I changed to tequila, so I understand what you guys are looking for in an alcohol.
Yeah. Well, no, we like that, because we've done vodkas and
We're working
gins
on doing gins,
and,
yeah.
So it's we'll wander around the map a little bit. We usually end up back in the bourbon and whiskey world, but we'll wander around. And today we wanted to wander towards tequila. So what's one of your favorite tequilas? What's your go-to? Well, what's your day drinker, and then what's your celebratory one?
That's a good question. So we're kind of in a unique position here because, we curate a lot of content. So I don't know if I don't really feel comfortable saying what's my favorite.
Okay.
Sure. That's fair play. Yeah.
But we are kind of lucky. We do get to drink a lot of high-end tequilas. So we're kind of spoiled in that matter.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a tequila that's my favorite, I would lean more towards the extra añejos. There's some good ones out there where they actually finish them in Irish whiskey barrels.
Oh, okay.
If you do some research. And since I'm a whiskey guy, I like that. I get the agave on the front end, and then some whiskey on the back end.
Right.
So that's kind of my preference. But I also like sipping on blancos as well.
Okay.
Using those for mixed drinks. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think an extra añejo is definitely my favorite, just because you get the most flavor out of it, and it gives you so many different notes of whatever you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We're trained more over here to sip on tequila. Sip on it, whether it's neat or on the rocks. We rarely mix. We don't do the salt or lime thing either. So
anything that can, be good neat or on the rocks, we're a fan of.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. All right, so we got this Tres Agaves, and it's clocking in at 40%, so 80 proof. Is that typical for a tequila? What is is there a typical proof for tequilas?
Yeah, so when it's coming into the U.S., actually, it needs to be about 40% or up.
It has to be.
It has
the
to
law for it to be tequila in the United States.
Got
It has to be at least 40%.
But what goes on in Mexico is actually the people down there like their tequila a little less harsh, and so it's around 38% usually.
Sometimes even down to 35.
Yeah, and you can really taste the difference in it. You get a lot more flavors coming out of it. You lose a little bit of alcohol taste, and it's really interesting to compare, especially when you have a tequila that you can get in the U.S. at 40, and then you try it in Mexico at 38,
Right,
at 2%. Although it doesn't seem like a lot,
Right.
it really changes the flavor. So,
Well, that's interesting. I will look for that next time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mexico scares you. You guys went to Mexico. That place is scary right now. What the hell's going on?
It wasn't too bad, man. It was actually an awesome time. It's, I don't know. Have you guys ever been to wine country, like Napa or any of those places?
I have not.
No.
Oh. Well, it's just very similar to that. I mean, it's very pretty out there. You got a lot of rolling fields, and you're just kind of driving on a highway, and there's just agave plants everywhere.
Okay.
It's really cool.
We got wine country in Michigan up in our Traverse City area, and it's like that. There's the Mission Peninsula.
It's like on the 49th parallel. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's
It's really pretty, green,
Yeah.
a lot of, it was really, really nice. It was great weather.
You got the nice rolling hills.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Nice.
all right.
Very nice. Gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for your knowledge. I'm talking to you, understanding where your passion lies when it comes to tequila, and understanding a little bit of your background. You used to be a bourbon whiskey drinker, now you switched over to tequila. Would you ever go back to whiskey and or bourbon?
I don't get me wrong. I like my whiskey or bourbon. I would never say no to that.
You sure?
But I do drink tequila a lot more. And it's a personal preference thing. I like the taste.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better. I feel like it's a little more of a cleaner thing for me personally. I feel better the next morning when I drink tequila versus whiskey.
See now my experiences with tequila have not ended well. That's why I said we're shooting this one. We're doing this one at home. A lot of times we'll do it out in a bar. I said because sometimes when I drink tequila, my pants come off. And
it's a natural upper, which makes it different than other liquors.
Oh, okay.
When you drink tequila, you get some energy. You want to, it's different. Where I feel like with bourbon, it doesn't have the same effect on you, which I think is why people kind of associate tequila with getting all crazy.
Now, when you're doing your tasting, when you try something for the first time, how do you prefer to taste something for the first time? Do you want to do it neat, or do you want to, have some water on the side or some ice? Help me understand that a little bit.
So the way we taste is we begin with it neat. Just to try and catch all the flavors and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're relaxed drinkers, so we like to sit there and enjoy. And so we like it cold, so we like to put it over the rocks after we get a little taste of what it's like neat.
Okay.
It is both ways.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we usually do both. We're not your typical tequila snobs over here, where we're putting it up to our nose and writing down notes and aromas and all that good stuff. We care about that, but it's more about, we understand that, when it comes to this type of stuff, it's personal preference.
Absolutely.
It's to have a good time. So we start with it neat. We get the aromas, we get the flavor. Then we put it on the rocks, get a taste for that. The glass actually does matter when it comes to tasting tequila. So what are you guys using right now for your glass on your tequila?
It's just kind of a rocks glass. I mean, we do have the tulip-shaped whiskey snorting snifters as well, but it was just kind of a wide-mouth rocks glass is where we were going. We haven't poured yet.
And that's what I used to do too. And obviously, since we've gotten more educated in this, when you go to Mexico and you go, you drink with people that really know tequila, you almost do them out of like a flute, like a champagne flute. That's the proper way to taste tequila, believe it or not.
Huh. All right.
Flute?
Yeah.
Like a champagne glass.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
And we tested it because I thought it was a little crazy too. I know, like I said, we're not tequila tools over here.
It sounds interesting.
When I tested it, and it does change the flavor profile.
No, it's amazing because we're Irish boys, me especially, and I'm like a snob when it comes to a pint of Guinness, and you got to pour it right, and it needs to be in the right glass, and it makes a difference if you do not pour it right and it's not in the right glass. There's a decided difference for me, and I get cranky when people don't do it right. So. I have to go in and get our champagne flutes. They say bride and groom on them, though, Matt. So that's the only champagne flutes we got.
What would be the first time? So
that was the only champagne flutes I have here at the house. But oh man,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
you should have told me. I would have brought mine.
Oh yeah, darn it.
His champagne flutes.
Yeah.
Go with that.
All right, so you said you would recommend a couple. Since we're kind of bourbon whiskey guys, what are a couple tequilas, somewhere in the $60, $75 range that you think we'd enjoy?
Just because this one, the one that I'm going to recommend is a little bit out of that range, to be honest with you.
Okay, tell us anything. Yeah, shoot the moon, man.
Yeah, it's an extra añejo, and just because it's on the top of my head and we had the chance to taste it a lot this past weekend in Mexico, would be El Baso Tequila.
El Baso, you say?
Yeah, so ELEVASO, El Baso Tequila. It's actually aged for 5 years.
Okay.
And it's finished in Irish whiskey barrels. So if you're an Irish whiskey guy or just like whiskey in general, it really has that finish. You don't necessarily taste the Irish whiskey. It just sits like a whiskey after the sip, which I really thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, but then you could also go for something like, if you're looking around the $60 price range, you want to go something a little more well-known, you can go with a Don Julio Añejo, and that's around $60 also. And if you wanted to try something a little more out there, I'm not personally a fan of it just because of the way it's made, but you can try the Don Julio 70 as well. That's a Cristalino tequila.
I just saw you.
You guys know what a Cristalino is?
No.
Do not. You just posted a picture of that on your Facebook page, did you not? Of that?
Yeah, so you can explain. Cristalino's an añejo, but essentially they do a filtering process that makes it white, clear. It takes out a lot of the colors and all of that stuff to make it a lot easier. Makes it easier for bartenders to make if they wanted to, all that kind of stuff. But it does. It's very smooth. In my opinion, it takes away a lot of the flavors and aromas that you get out of a regular añejo, but it does make it extremely smooth. I mean, sometimes a really good Cristalino can almost taste like water. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Okay.
You know all about that.
Yeah. All right, so someone had recommended to us, and I think it's a newer product, the Hornitos, but the Black Barrel Hornitos. Have you had an experience with that?
Let us look it up real quick here so we can look at the bottle. I have a photographic memory. We post so many tequilas.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So
that the Hornitos, the Black Barrel one.
Interesting. You know what? I haven't had. Have you had a chance to try this one yet?
I haven't. You might have just turned us on to one of the few tequilas you don't drink.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie.
So hey, there you go. So yeah, it's someone recommended. There's where we sometimes record is a cigar bar nearby here called the Ambassador, and the owner told us to try it. And so we had given it a try, and it was good. But that was after we recorded a couple episodes, and we had a few bourbons in us.
It was tasting the same for some reason.
I wanted to go back and get a fresh.
You know what they say? The last one you drink is always the best one.
Yeah. So I was curious what you guys thought about that one.
Yeah. So just looking at it, it seems like it has like a little bit of a smoky aspect to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a mezcal-ish. Have you guys had any mezcal before?
I've heard the word mezcal, but I can't place why I know that.
Yeah, so it's not tequila, but it's made in Mexico, and it's made with agave as well, just in a different way. They're generally a lot more smoky.
Okay.
So this looks like it kind of has it's a tequila, obviously. It's a añejo, but it seems like it may play a little bit into the smoky flavor of a mezcal. You guys should definitely check out some mezcals. If you like whiskey and you like that smoke, mezcal could be a good choice for you guys too to kind of dive into.
Okay.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. So what do you guys sell the tequilas through online, or is it just in your store?
Online. So
Okay.
we're an online retailer.
How do people
We
find you?
ship to almost every state. Go ahead. It's Top Shelf. It's TopShelfLiquorStore.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is that on? Is there? That's the website. Is there a? I love the Top Shelf Tequila. Is your Facebook? Is there an Instagram or a Twitter that you guys utilize as well as a handle?
Yeah, so all of our social medias are I Love Top Shelf Tequila. And our store that we sell on that all of our social medias point to is Top Shelf Liquor Store.
Okay.
One of the unique things that I want to bring up to you guys that you guys can leverage in the future is one of the things that we do is we help people source tequila. So let's say you guys really like that Hornitos Black Barrel
Yeah.
Right.
tequila. You could message us, and we could actually go out and source it for you and then provide it on our site. And 9 times out of 10, we're lower than anywhere else on the internet.
Oh.
And then we source it for you and we make it available for you, and then you have a place to buy it. So that's kind of how our store started. People were asking us if they could find stuff, and we've just been starting to build out our store by, finding those tequilas for people and offering them to them.
Nice.
All right. So Top Shelf Liquor. So do you sell other liquors as well?
Sorry, you cut out for a little bit.
All right.
Can you
Yeah.
repeat
So
that?
Top Shelf Liquors. Do you sell more spirits than just tequila?
Right now it's just tequila.
Okay.
That's kind of what we focus on.
All right.
But in the future, that could change.
Right.
All right.
Right. Because there's a couple. What we were trying to find, we couldn't find it around here. Metallica has a bourbon called Blackened, and I can't find it around Michigan anywhere. So yeah. So
yeah,
it's,
we definitely in the future we do plan on moving into bourbon, and when that happens, I will let you guys know, and we'll try to source some stuff for you.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back on the Man Cave. You guys are just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And we'd love to have more conversations with you around your passion and what you guys do.
I appreciate it. It's been nice talking to you guys as well. Yeah, it's been great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks so much, and we'll send you links and all that when we get this stuff posted.
Awesome, man. Hey, enjoyed. You guys like your tequila?
We haven't tried it yet.
We haven't tried it yet. We're enjoying the
chatting.
conversation so much.
All right, we're gonna stay.
Come
We're
on,
gonna.
you got to do it now.
All right,
fair
we're gonna
enough.
do it now. We're gonna pour it up. We're gonna pour this up. Pop the cork. Here we go.
We'll pull the flutes out later.
I don't know how much I should pour. How much should you pour? I think I poured too much. Is that
You
ever?
don't want to pour too. I would pour a little bit just to taste it neat to get the flavors, and then I would, give yourself a decent pour on rocks.
Hey, Jamie, you got any lemons? I'm kidding, fellas.
Yeah. Some salt and.
So yeah, I'm giving a small smell of it, but on the nose, but I just wanted to go right to it. So.
Yeah, it is sweet.
Yeah, that is a very sweet taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
That a little bit of smokiness on that back end.
It's yeah. So as it hangs out,
Yeah.
the smoke comes much later. So yeah, is that typical that you'll get the smoke much later after the sweet?
That's usually a good sign for tequila, because a lot of tequilas you'll sip it and it'll be there for a second and then it disappears.
Right.
The ones that sit on your tongue and you really can taste some stuff, we always love that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys drink bourbon, right? You've ever drank a bourbon and it tastes good, and then by the time you swallow, there's your palate, there's nothing left in your mouth.
No, it's
Yeah.
all gone.
Yeah, we don't like that.
No.
Same thing with tequila.
Yeah.
You want it to sit there for a little bit, and you want to get that complexity of flavors.
On that second sip,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little more sweetness because of the my it's hung around long enough. So on
Right.
that second go around, there's not much of a burn. A lot of folks when they drink a tequila, they think it burns, right? Not a
Right.
big burn on this tequila at all.
No,
I bought a good tequila. A good tequila will never burn you.
Yeah.
So
The burn is the alcohol.
I'm not wincing. I'm not getting a lot of ethanol
Yeah.
taste. I mean, it's not a heavy ethanol. It's
Not
not
at all.
it's not a heavy burn. It's not a heavy. There's not much ethanol at all. It's just the sweet,
Mm-hmm,
and then hangs out, and it's the smoke. It just it's still there.
It's
still
very,
loitering.
It's loitering, and it's sitting very nicely in the back of my throat. So it's just a very
That's
nice,
a well done tequila, my friends. Yeah, when you don't get the burn and you get the hot, the nice, sweet taste in the front and a good finish.
yeah.
that's a well-made tequila, and most likely without any additives or anything added into it. So
Nice.
Yeah, this actually is. This is the party store owner was telling me that it's going to be certified organic. This Tres Agaves. So yeah, there are absolutely no additives to it.
No.
He said the next batch that comes into the States is going to be certified organic. Is that an important thing in tequilas, being organic or certified organic? Is that a thing? Is it important, or is that just a little marketing gimmick for the millennials that are like, ooh, hey?
Well,
the snobberies,
it's actually, that's funny you bring that up, because when we were at the distillery in Mexico, we actually asked that, and it's actually a very difficult process to be able to call something certified organic in tequila. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Zach, but for it to be organic, I think it has to be like 3 generations above the agave you have now. Two? I think it's 2 generations. 2 generations. So, you have an agave in the ground right now. Let's say it's, ready to be harvested.
Yeah.
The previous agave and the previous agave both need to be organic before you can call this current one organic.
Yeah, I guess this Tres Agaves, they've been around since like the 40s.
1948.
Yeah,
I think is what
so
I read.
1948. And he said the last step that they're waiting for their organic certification is just some soil samples to confirm it.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I mean, what I think that it's, the more kind of things you can say like that in the world of tequila and going through those processes, it just, puts more faith into the customers. They know that you're not putting anything in it. They know it's a nice, clean, good product. So I think it's important.
Awesome. All right. So once again, I love Top Shelf Tequila on Facebook. Find these guys. It's amazing. Vince, Zach, really appreciate you being with us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
I look forward to having you back, too.
All right. Cheers. Be well.
Yeah, message us, and if you guys need any other tequila recommendations, or honestly have any questions about Mescal or need to be connected to anything, please reach out and let us know.
For sure.
I'm going in for my second, fellas.
All
Have
right,
a good night.
Matt's going for his second.
Hey, you guys enjoy that.
All right. Be well.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Oh, that's a riot.
Yeah.
All right, so we're hammering this. Do you want some ice for the next round?
You know what? It's so good.
It's
neat.
so good neat.
It
is good neat.
It is very good neat.
Yeah.
Like I said, that there's no heavy burn.
No,
there really isn't. So our good friend at Keiko's,
yeah,
he gave you a very good recommendation, and the guys at I Love Top Shelf Tequila agreed.
Yeah.
So
all right. So what's more of the story behind the Tres Agaves? Usually we do this before we dive into it.
Right.
But it was just fun to have guests on.
It really is. I'm looking here for
and
it.
then
so.
you had some good. Oh, there's the Jalisco.
Yes.
And again, we're probably saying that wrong.
Jalisco.
All right, let's be culturally insensitive.
Yes. All right.
And what's that? Is that Guadalupe? What's in the middle? What's that big dot? I can't see that.
Oh, Guadalajara.
Yeah,
Guadalajara.
All right, that's right. The capital of that region, or the big city in that region.
Correct. So for a tequila, it has to be made in Mexico.
Okay, yeah.
So
kind of like a bourbon. You could do whiskey anywhere.
Yes.
If you want to call it bourbon. It's got to be in the U.S., not Kentucky.
That's
not
a
Tennessee.
myth.
Yes,
that's a myth.
Myth.
What? Yeah.
We're saying when you need.
Right.
But yes, so it must be made in Mexico. That's cool.
Yeah.
No,
it's actually this is actually born from a volcano and blue agave.
Okay.
Right. So that blue agave plant itself, it looks
Right.
like. So generations of this family since 1948. The Tres Agaves. Name itself. So the Trintero family, I believe, is the estates it comes from.
Yeah.
So, it's been around. Look them up online. There's a lot of history here. If you ever get a chance, when you go to Mexico, because a lot of people do go to Mexico, Jamie.
Yeah.
Me, I've never been.
Really? Yeah.
No.
It's just it's a shit show right now. It's like I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
It's just even and especially because they're grabbing people from the resorts and stuff, and
but
tourists are getting killed. There's tourists getting killed here in the States too. But
Right.
Rumble.
But a lot of people, when they think tequila, they think of you have to do the salt and the lemon because of the taste of it. But you have a good tequila. Don't need that.
On the nose. Right? It's got a distinctive tequila taste. Smell.
Yes.
To really, because like when we do a bourbon, we really dive into it and sniff hard.
Right.
I only give it like a half a sniff, and it was a potent aroma, and I'm like, what did I buy? Holy crap, Joe! I might be heading back and throwing this bottle through your window. What the hell? But then upon tasting it, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's incredibly
very
great.
nice.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
So can I go back to that story I was telling?
All right. So recap, because I'm like a hamster.
I
I got like a
what wheel?
5-second memory. I'm a goldfish.
Wheel.
Yep.
Wheel.
Swimming.
So yeah,
Oh, hey,
to
hi.
recap, if you're gonna have a tequila and you want to have a good time, but you don't want to get too emotional about it,
right?
Then the Tres Agaves is actually a really nice way to go, in my opinion. Hi, Percy Cat's on the Facebook Live, everybody.
And he's so happy.
Hanging out with the guys.
He's so happy.
Hanging out with the fellas. Now you got Percy Cat all over you.
I got cat all over me. All right. So all right. Tell me your story.
All right. So
it's story time with Matt.
Matt.
New feature on the Man Cave Happy Hour. Story time with Matt. This is my favorite part of the show because Matt tells stories and I get to drink.
Yes, there you go. So we're in Utah. I was on a ski trip in Utah. We were at a resort called Snowbird. All right, and next to Snowbird is another place called Alta, and the two mountains are connected, and you can actually sit on a conveyor as you go through the mountain to the other side.
Okay,
so Snowbird Alta, it's very, very cool. Anyways, in Utah, they regulate the alcohol percentage in beer, but they can't do that with liquor. So the place we were at, the resort we were at, they were doing a beer shot special. So it was a $5 beer shot special that they were doing. So there was a group of us that were on this trip. And two of the folks that were on the trip, we kind of palled up, and they were kind of getting after it, with their beer and shot special. And in the resort we were staying at, there happened to be a Mexican restaurant, very good Mexican restaurant at that. And they had a menu of 30 different types of tequila on menu, right? So, the last night we were there, we were, for lack of a better term, rock stars.
Okay.
You know that term where it says, you can party like a rock star, but you can't recover like one?
Oh, yeah.
So we started at the top of the list and started working our way down with the tequila shots. And we got about 5 or 6, but mind you, we had already started earlier in the evening and had about 6 beer shot specials apiece on top of that. So come 4:30 in the morning when you have to get up for a plane ride.
Yeah, don't go to sleep.
Yeah, my wife could smell it when I got back into Michigan that afternoon. You're still drunk, aren't you?
Layover and 3 plane changes.
I felt so bad for everybody
TSA
sitting
people
around
are
me.
like, move along, buddy, move along.
Everyone on the plane just look at me going, dude, really? So
wait till it starts coming at the other end there. Then you'll all be surprised.
So that's been my experience with tequila. I actually got after it and I survived. So
it's just Cancun a couple of times.
Oh, you were just there a year and a half ago?
Well, Kyle's a senior, so no, that was.
Is that 2 years?
That was no, it's like 4 years ago. So
oh my gosh, has it been that long?
His senior, his senior 3.5, yeah. So 3.5, 4 years. But so we went on Collins High School spring break, and I that wasn't tequila, that was just beers. And then daiquiris and margaritas, whatever. I guess there's margaritas. But there was one time
at band camp.
Yeah, and we ended up at Senior Frogs.
Oh, they had a place out here in this area.
Yeah,
at one point in time.
Yeah, no, but that downtown to Cancun, Senior Frogs, and they were pouring these shots. I have no idea what it was, but it was like tequila and something else. But it was like, because it tasted like licorice, so it was like an ouzo-y kind of, that licoricey ouzo kind of taste. So it was tequila and something else licoricey in it, and that didn't end well for.
I thought you were going to say they wiped the bar down and wrung the rag out in the glass and said here.
No, it didn't end well for Mr. Jamie back then.
Boy.
But yeah.
But you're still here, so you're still talking about it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Jamie.
Yeah, Matt.
I like your man cave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is
Thank you very
is a
much.
great man cave, and it's a great spot. And if you ever get a chance to visit Mr. Flanagan,
We're gonna have a party. Well, I do want to have a party. I want to have a tasting with like some Michigan Bourbon Club people.
nice.
And then have
We
folks
should
out.
invite Vince and Zach out. If they do some traveling, they might come out and have a good time.
Yeah, I didn't. We didn't ask where they were. I wonder where they are.
Yeah, we'll find out next time they're on.
The next time we talk to them. Yeah. So that was fun. All right. So that does it. Tres Agaves is date, marry, kill, right?
This is definitely a
date, marry, screw, right?
Date, marry, screw. This is definitely a marry.
Yeah, I'm glad I have this at home. I'm glad I have this home, and that's what Joe said. He goes, hey, it's $40, and he goes, you won't be, it won't be offensive to mix it, because if you're buying a $90 bottle,
Don't want to mix that.
and it's like, and he goes, get the Red Bull and tequila going. I don't know if that's even a thing. I'm sure somebody does it.
Red Bull and tequila. I know somebody that does that.
Vodka. That's Dave. Dave does Red Bull and
You
everything.
can still do it with tequila.
I
I'm
bet
sure.
you.
Yeah.
So, but he said that Joe at the market was saying people have taken to making like Manhattans and old fashions with tequilas.
Because of the sweetness, you think?
And añejos, and because of how it's finished, and because those are like usually sweeter drinks, right? You get you're muddling the sugar, as you do those, or you have the simple sugar, or you're muddling the sugar, one of the two, depending on how you mix it up.
Sure.
He said people have taken to doing it with tequila, so they want something a little higher level. But not the $100 bottle.
Right.
He said, so this one's been working out really well for that. He had a couple bottles in there that were like $150 and $200.
Really?
And he said, he was explaining why they were that
Those
much.
are things I would be interested in tasting. Because, of course, we want to taste everything. But, what's the difference between something like this, which is kind of middle of the road,
right,
or the $150
right.
bottle? I want to understand, the difference, the taste-wise. I already know what the cheaper bottle is going to taste like.
Yeah.
I want to know what the difference,
Yeah, if it's got a little red sombrero on it.
Yeah, don't do it.
You know you're in trouble. If your bottle is coming dressed for the party, get the hell out. I think that's probably a good clue.
If it's got the Three Amigos on it.
Oh, man.
But, Jamie, always a pleasure.
Yep, that's it. So, Man Cave Happy Hour, mancavehappyhour.com, Man Cave Happy Hour, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes.
Find us, follow us, like, subscribe. Leave a comment. It absolutely helps. It matters. We truly, genuinely, absolutely appreciate it. We appreciate you taking some time with us while we hang out and enjoy some spirits. If you're in the Metro Detroit area and you'd like to share some spirits with us, call us up. We'll plant ourselves in your backyard, or your man cave, or meet you at the local pub. Whatever it is, if there's something you want to call up and you want to try and break down with us, something that you love that you want to share with us, or something that you haven't tried and want to try, let us know. You don't have to be in the Metro Detroit area. You buy a bottle, we'll buy a bottle. We'll do it remotely.
You know what? Wearingfunny.com.
The T-shirts.
T-shirts. If you want to,
Neither one of us are
we
wearing
got
them.
a lot of fun T-shirts that are out there. The Man Cave Happy Hour T-shirt, Animal Talk T-shirt is hanging around.
I got a couple of pierogi sheet T-shirts just because I'm Polish and I thought it was funny.
You're an Irish Polish whiskey vodka tequila drinker.
That's it. All right, so that's it. Like, subscribe, vote, comment. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks so much.